So Ryan, for people who don't know, you're a tailor of fine clothes. Yeah. Your last name is Taylor. Was this a tailor-made thing? No pun intended. Seriously, how did you really get into fashion and design? And now, I mean, you're clothing some of the top stars in Hollywood. How did you get to this space? What started you, and what was your first break?
Wow, it's a lot. As a kid, I always was particular. I've always been particular. And I remember my mom once said, you have a very limited budget to go back to school shopping.
I know.
Remember back to school shopping?
The limited budget, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she said, so you can either get, 3 pair of tough skins or 1 pair of Jordache. I was like, this is a no-brainer. Give me the Jordache. Let's go. And so
He was the only one that had them in our grade.
and man, I tried to wear it sparingly, but the Jordache was getting warm. So it's always been in me to be kind of particular. I want things a certain way, and I actually don't even see myself as fashionable. I really see myself more as a stylist. And the distinction is, style is more timeless. It's always relevant. I think of Sammy Davis Jr. or even George Clooney. Just these standard, steady looks, classic looks, and the fit is really more important than anything above fashion, which is more keeping up with the Joneses. What's going on? Oh, this color's hot now. Now stripes are hot. And so I understand fashion, and I take some elements of fashion, but I'm always, for my customers, trying to create a stylish expression. And so the way Drobe started really was, I saw the word wardrobe. This is true. I saw the word wardrobe and was like, that's an ill word. It has war on the front of it. I'm gonna start a company called Drobe, a clothing company. We took the war out of your wardrobe. And so the word came to me, Drobe came to me before anything. And, what you put in the universe, the universe responds to.
Absolutely.
And so
sure.
I literally said it, and without exaggeration, a day or two later, I meet this guy named Johnny Q. He will always be a part of my story. And he was a designer, and he had a bunch of magazines inside his showroom. And he said, all right, turn the pages and show me what's Drobe. And I just pulled out pages. And this is Drobe, this is Drobe, this is Drobe. So he helped me create my first line. And back then, we only made shirts. And the concept was we were making work to play apparel, right? This is during the .com era, where all the folks were struggling to know what's appropriate in this era, right? If you came into the company I worked for, as this fast-paced tech company, wearing a suit, you look too stuffy.
Yeah.
You came in wearing jeans and a t-shirt, it's like, whoa, you're doing a little too much. You don't have the job yet. So if you knew how to walk that line from work
Find
to
that
play,
middle ground, yeah.
the Libra in me. And so we made a bunch of shirts. I think we have 4 blanks, but in different fabrics. Four styles, if you will, in different fabrics and slightly different cuts. And that was Drobe. My first break occurred when I got money from Operation Hope. John Bryant helped me to get some financing.
Okay, here we go.
We did the Magic Show, which is men's apparel garment industry, not ta-da, and so at the Magic Show in Vegas, the promise is if you bring a good-looking line to the public, everybody that's buying for their stores come to this convention and they'll buy from you. So let's go. I know our stuff is hot, and this is my thinking. And at the time, we're just selling to friends and families. We're not in any stores. It's just an idea. And quick diversion, and this is a really important part of my story, is a guy came into our showroom. We're at the Magic Show, and he goes, tell me your story. I said, yeah, we're young. There were 4 of us. We're young entrepreneurs. We're trying to take over with our work to play apparel. Drobe took the war out of your wardrobe, and yeah, we're gonna kill the game. And the guy goes, you need a better story, and walked off. So
Wow.
it was crazy. We took about 10, 15 grand worth of orders, so it was a good showing for us. And by the time we got home and called the folks who placed those orders to get the credit cards and close the deal, they all backed out. Oh, we overbought, so sorry, we don't want what we ordered. We came back with nothing in our hand. And so I'm in the hole from my mentor's help to get the financing. And what's replaying in my head is, I need a better story. And it just clicked to me. I said, you know what? I'm gonna call, I'm from LA. I'm gonna call Hollywood. I'm gonna go, and the first call I made, this is a true story, was to the Bernie Mac show. And so I called, I think they were on CBS, or in my mind,
Fox.
I think it was a Fox, okay.
Yeah.
And they say, Fox, if you will. And I said, I make shirts for celebrities or for anybody, and they're really awesome shirts. And so the guy cuts me off and he goes, do you want costume? And I go, oh yes, costume department, please. They transfer me to costume. The lady picks up, she goes, costume. I said, hi, my name is Ryan, and we have some awesome shirts, and I really want to show you for your show. And she says, wow, what timing? We're having an open call Thursday. What's your last name? I'll get you a drive one. Come on down, let me see your line.
Whoa.
First call. I go down there, and the lady, she liked it. She liked some of my stuff, and she bought a few pieces. And when I brought them back, because they weren't made, I had to go out and make them. I met Bernie Mac, and she introduced me to a bunch of other costumers, and that's how we ended up getting on TV
Look at
shows
that.
and starting to get a better story. So
The story is getting better.
the story's getting better.
Started off with a few L's, but that was a win for sure.
I fast forwarded through a lot. I fast forwarded through a lot of years.
Yeah.
And to fast forward to where we are today, we no longer are trying to make just shirts ready-made for department stores. In order to stay alive, we realized that it's a very expensive proposition to do these shows, to sell to other stores. And so we decided to just sell to individual customers. And that's how Drobe became a custom clothing brand, to say, we'll make to one person at a time and give them individual attention. We expanded from shirts into suits, and that's how we made it happen.
I love it, man. Now that's a success story if I've heard one.
Absolutely.
But on the first call,
Yeah, man. Now, let me tell you, on the second call, nothing. Third call, nothing. And I don't think I got into I didn't get that far on any other of the production studios. Maybe one or two other people out of maybe 100 after that. Our first call, I hit a home run, nothing out of maybe 98, and then maybe one or two other opportunities to get in. But the real opportunity was the costume person introduced me. So we ended up on Bernie Mac's show, Girlfriends, All of Us, Moesha, and we ended up on all these different shows because she walked me in to these other shows.
if you could choose between the first call you had, because that's a rare first call.
Yeah.
You know, you could just pick up the phone, you call somebody, and it leads to something.
Yes.
Come down here on Thursday. You called at the right time. Mm-hmm. If you had an opportunity, or if you could see or choose between that call and winning the lottery, would you do it differently? Would you take the lottery, or would you take the call again?
Well, from the position I'm in today, I would take the call. At the time, definitely I would have took the lottery, hands down.
You'd have took the lottery.
But
right.
What I know now, and I don't think I would have learned it as well or as quickly, is that the lottery doesn't give you relationships.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
the key.
The lottery doesn't really give you opportunity, it gives you money.
Right.
But money doesn't buy opportunities. You know, I guess in a way it can, but it's really, it's really what you do in front of others that gives you the opportunity. Money just facilitates things. And so I would have been short-sighted 20 years ago and took the money.
Right.
But yeah.
And what's interesting is you make the point about relationships, and that is the backbone to Drobes.
Exactly.
This space, this environment is relationships.
Right.
Yeah.
It's, the cigars are here, but they're not the star, right? The people are the stars.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Jakeem, your journey, can you top your partner?
I don't know about that, but I definitely have my own story, and my story took place with me not having any plans on the automotive business. Now, fortunate for me in high school, I did have a little bit of experience through a gentleman named Larry Hibbler, who ended up becoming a mentor to me. He took me under his wing when I was even still in high school. I needed a job, but I didn't understand anything about financing cars or any of that stuff. But it gave me a little taste, and then once I came back from school, moved back to California, I got a job writing. I was an English major. When I started, before I went to school, I thought I might go towards law. Then I thought, because I can write, I got a job writing.
Law, huh?
I like that, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And so that job ended up going away unexpectedly. It was a website that was trying to focus on entertainment, politics. There was about 5 different topics they covered, and they were located in New York, Chicago, LA, Miami. And at that point, they decided to condense everything and take the office to New York.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to New York. They didn't give me an offer to go to New York. So now I'm out of work and I need to figure out what to do because I need money.
Mm-hmm.
And I bumped into a friend of mine, and he was with another friend whose sister, we all went to school together, and he had a broker company in Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. And so he said, you need a job? I'm hiring, I need some admin assistants, I do have sales positions. And I didn't know anything about sales, but being an admin assistant didn't seem exciting to me in any way, shape, or form. My roommate from college worked for the company. He was making good money doing that, but sales just provided a challenge. And I said, if this guy can do it, I can do it. So I got stuffed in the office with him and a lot of screaming, and I just had to learn on the fly. But what happened is each relationship, everything was relationships. I've never applied for a job since I started selling cars 21 years ago. Someone comes to me and says, hey, why don't you come work with us? We're doing this, we'll offer you this. And it's just built on top of itself. So the luck of my story as far as the car business is that because of where I landed, I was able to learn every portion of it, from the finance to customer relations. I've been customer relations manager. I worked on the dealership side, worked in fleet. I've worked as a broker. So learning all sides of the table gives me an advantage in taking care of a customer now, because I know what I'm dealing with when I'm dealing with the dealers. Mm-hmm. I know how their operation runs from the inside. I also know what the customer is having to contend with. So I'm able to save their time, agony, save them money, and provide them a service that puts the car in front of them and they spend 10 minutes involved with the process of signing paperwork, like yourself, or like Ryan, or several of the people who through this place, I still take care of their car needs for years, 15, 20 years, some people.
I think I'm on my second car.
Yeah. So I didn't plan on going in the car business, but it has been fantastic for me. And it's provided a lot of relationships that now we are utilizing together to help service people with other products and other needs.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you guys.
No worries.
So I just want to thank you all for coming into the Stogie shop and seeing some of the behind the scenes of what makes Drobe Stogie such an amazing space here in Inglewood, California. But before we leave, what I'd like to do is ask the fellas to give all of their social media handles so you'll be able to follow them on all of their various platforms. Ryan, Jakeem, said it backwards. Ryan and Jakeem, please tell us, man, how people can follow you and support everything you guys are doing.
Well, first of all, we're located at 1322 North La Brea Avenue in Inglewood. 90302 is our zip code. We're right near Fairview. We're 5 minutes from the airport. and the Ladera Center, right here on the tip of Inglewood. Online.
Online at drobestogies.com. D-R-O-B like boy, E-S-T-O-G-I-E-S.com. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook, also at Drobe Stogies.
Correct.
And your clothing.
Drobe custom clothing can be found at drobe.com, as well as Style is Power on Instagram.
Once again, I want to thank you all for coming in. This was an amazing episode. You get to see how the minds of winners work, right? Come on down to Drobes and get into this winning environment. It's an amazing place to be. I endorse it myself, and I wouldn't do that if it was a lie.
Absolutely. Yeah.